Welcome back, everyone, to the Best Football Plays YouTube channel. Today is Sunday, March 9th, and I'm back bringing us some more college basketball plays for the Sunday slate. Let's take a look at the plays from Saturday first. Had a really good start to the day. Doesn't look like we might not get a very good finish, but let's go one by one here. Indiana money line down by 8 or 9 points against Ohio State, comes back and wins that game outright at home. Big win for them for March Madness hopes. UNC plus 10.5. Shit down the leg. They were winning by, I want to say, 10, and then Duke goes on a 32-4 or 5 run with, 11 minutes left in the second half, and then North Carolina couldn't cover the spread. So horrible blown cover by North Carolina. Texas is not playing well right now. Trey Johnson hasn't made a field goal yet. Doesn't look like he's going to make a field goal in this game. Absolutely abysmal shooting from him. Texas horrible shot making. Refs, it's a ref show out there, a whistle every other possession. I just don't feel confident with Texas minus 4.5. Still going on, though, but maybe we get it. St. John's money line, epic game. One of the better games of the day. One of the first game that I watched of the day as well, and St. John's wins it on the buzzer in overtime, just like Alabama with Mark Sears. Wins it at the buzzer in overtime. Both of those shots kind of a floater. Mark Sears driving. St. John's guy just finds it in his lap after a Marquette turnover. Both of them floaters. Both of them hit. Missouri gets embarrassed by Kentucky, but the over hit in that game, if anybody had the over, 104 points in the second half, and they scored 27 points in the final 2 minutes of that game. So if anybody had the over in that one, congratulations to you. Mark Mitchell destroyed Kentucky in the game, had 20-plus points. LJ Cryer has not started yet, or he just tipped off maybe. I don't think he started yet. It's a little bit before 9, so has not started yet. Over 16.5 points. Pretty confident in that one. On the road against Baylor. Playing his former team. Should be fine there. Chance McMillan not going to hit, I don't think. He has 5 points in the half. I haven't checked it since, but he wasn't shooting very well from the field. So probably going to take a loss on that one. So 1-1 probably in the player props with LJ Cryer pending there. And that UNC loss is just really taking me down a notch. Well, it's going to be a pretty good day. And now it looks like we might get out of here even or just up one game, which really kind of sucks for college basketball on Saturday. But let's go take a look at the plays for Sunday. We've got a rivalry game, Michigan going up against Michigan State. I was going to take Michigan plus 6.5. Full transparency here. This game doesn't really mean much to Michigan State because they wrapped up the Big Ten title last week or their last game. This game probably means a lot more to Michigan just because they want to try to be playing better going into the conference tournament. They want to try to be playing better going into the March Madness tournament. Michigan State, they've just been winning some really close games against some really good teams. They got a win against Iowa. They were down in that game by 13 points. They come all the way back. They kind of dominate in the final 5 or 6 minutes of that game, and then they cover the spread very late. After that, or before that, I should say, they beat Wisconsin, Maryland, Michigan, Purdue, all those teams in the top 20. So Michigan is playing some really good basketball right now. They're playing some really good team basketball right now as well. So I'm going to take the Spartans minus 6.5. I've said this many times about Michigan. They could be the best team in the world in the first 4 minutes and then the worst team in college basketball the next 4 minutes. So you never know what you're going to get with Michigan. Michigan State, although all the way around, is a really good team. And Michigan State will be one of my futures to win the title. Probably to get to the Final Four is what I'm going to put it at. But I would love to take them to win the title at, I think it's plus 25 or plus 2,600 for Michigan State. That's going to be a future play for me. But for this game, I know Michigan State's not really playing for anything. They've already got it locked up. Michigan, a rivalry game. You should always take the points in a rivalry game. I just can't take Michigan. I'm sorry. I'm taking Michigan State minus 6.5 as the first play there. For the next play today, we're going to go be looking at the Hawkeyes going up against Nebraska. Nebraska's the better team, I think, on paper. They definitely play the better defense. The Hawkeyes this season, they were abysmal in the second half going up against Michigan State. All they had to do was get a hand up 1 or 2 possessions. They find a way to win that game. They get themselves back into the contention for the Big Ten Conference Tournament. And Ohio right now is dropped. They dropped the 3 worst teams in the conference for the tournament. So they have no shot to even make a run for March Madness. If they win this game, I think they are tied with Rutgers, but I believe Rutgers has another game tomorrow as well. So even if they win this game, probably doesn't mean much for them. For Nebraska, they're in. They're going to be playing in the conference tournament. I think this is going to be the last game for the Hawkeyes on the season, and I think we see them put up a big number here going up against Nebraska. I think they play like it's their last game. I think the seniors have a really good day. I think Peyton Sanford and Dix are going to have a good day for the Hawkeyes as well. I'm going to take them plus 6.5. I think they win this game outright, though. This feels like a game that everybody understands is probably going to be the last game of the season. We get 100% effort on both sides of the ball instead of just 3-point shooting. So I'm going to take the Hawkeyes here, plus 6.5. as the final play of the day. Let's look at some player props for tomorrow, starting with Jace Richardson of Michigan State. This guy's been doing it all. It's been Atkins, Richardson, and Cohen for Michigan State. Cohen, one of the most athletic players I've seen this season. His dunks are absolutely insane. He's got a vertical, got to be at least 40-plus inches. Dude's a monster down low. But for this one, Jace Richardson over the total points going up against Michigan. Michigan defense has been sloppy for the last several games. While they've lost back-to-back games, they can't get a stop on the defensive side. The offense has usually been pretty good. Danny Wolf's been leading them on the offensive side lately, but the Michigan defense has been really, really bad over the last couple. I think we see Jace Richardson dominate down low in this one. He's really good at driving to the rim, getting his shot. He's also been pretty good on the outside over the last couple games. 6 shots from the outside in back-to-back games, knocking down 5 of those. So 5 of 12 from the outside over the last 2. 22 points in the last game going up against the Hawkeyes was a big reason why they came back and won that game going up against the Hawkeyes. So I'm going to take him over his total points in this one, 11.5, 12.5, somewhere around there, going up against Michigan for the final play of the day on the player prop side. Give me Peyton Sanford of the Hawkeyes to go over his total points. A senior, he does it all. I mean, he really does. He does it all for this team. 6.2 rebounds, 16.1 points, 3 assists. That number could be a little bit higher. But the Hawkeyes have now dropped 3 consecutive games, and it's really because of him. No sugarcoating it at all. He has not been shooting well from the field. Over the last 3 games, 2 of 10, 3 of 13, and 4 of 12. Point column, 15, 9, and 7. This is a guy who should be scoring 20-plus points per game. He is that good of a shot. He is a deadeye. He needs to not be so passive in this game. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to be selfish. He needs to be taking the most shots in this one. He's the best player on the floor for this team by a wide mile. I think Bryce Williams is probably the best player on the floor in this game, but Peyton's definitely the best player for the Hawkeyes. He needs to shoot 15, 16, 17 times in this game. I think he will hit the over. Nebraska was in that game I think Monday night. That went to double overtime. We saw a 114 to 113 kind of game. This is going to be a high-scoring game, and I do think the Hawkeyes will win. Should see 85, 90 points scored by the Hawkeyes. Expect this guy to have at least 15-plus going up against Nebraska. Give me Peyton Sanford over his total points as the final play. Let's go to that recap graphic for tomorrow. We will take Michigan State minus 6.5. I think Michigan's probably the smarter play with the points. Rivalry game. They're playing for more, but I'm not going to put my money on Michigan. I refuse to do it. Iowa plus 6.5. If you want the money line, go for it. I think they will win this game on the money line going up against Nebraska. Jace Richardson over his total points, 11.5, 12.5, somewhere around there, going up against Michigan. The final play of the day, Peyton Sanford over his total points, going up against Nebraska. 15.5, 16.5, somewhere around there as the final play of the day. Guys, it's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Sunday, March 9th, slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please drop a like this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.